When it comes to advancing in your career and positioning yourself as a potential leader, your voice is an important tool. Today, I'm sharing with you 5 communication skills that leaders use. My name is Lorraine and welcome to this episode. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is a great opportunity for you to stop and subscribe. We publish 3 episodes a week, and these episodes are geared towards helping you advance in your career whilst increasing your earning potential and maintaining that tricky balance between your personal life and your professional life. So how can you start communicating and speaking like a leader? You know what? If you are right there and thinking, I will start improving my communication when I get promoted, then that might never happen. You want to start proving yourself as a capable leader now in order for you to quicken the process and position yourself strategically. So the first skill that communication skills that leaders use is they work on their speaking skills outside of work. So of course at work, you're going to have opportunities to speak in meetings, you have opportunities to make presentations, but even outside of work, you can improve your speaking skills. How can you do this? You can do this for free, so you can join your local Toastmasters. And if you don't know where your local Toastmasters is, just do a Google search and all your local Toastmasters and the nearest ones will come up, and usually they host their sessions after work hours, meaning it's easy for you to attend. And post-COVID, many Toastmasters actually do their sessions online as well. And at Toastmasters, what happens is you get an opportunity to make an impromptu speech. They will just give you a topic, you don't get much time to prepare, and then you just speak on the spot. Just like any muscle, whether with exercise, running, whatever else you do, speaking is the same thing. You get better as you do more of speaking. I have found that in my life, people approach me and say, you're such a natural at speaking. I'm like, no, I'm not a natural. Just that I've always put my hand up, high school, in class. If the teacher wanted a volunteer to read a passage, definitely I'll put my hand up, and I would usually put my hand up for the longest passage so that I read for the longest as well. Maybe for you, you can do Toastmasters, you can find any other club. It might even be your local church. There might be opportunities for you to do like a short stint during your church service where you can speak, or whatever it is that you gather locally. I'm sure if you really sit down and intentionally think about it, there's so many places for you to start. There's so many safe and great opportunities for you to speak. It might even be the opportunity to make a speech at a friend's birthday. Don't say no to those small things. Always say yes. And you'll be surprised to find that you're speaking and the confidence you exude as you speak starts to increase. The second strategy that leaders use to improve their communication is to expand their vocabulary by reading. You know what? If you want to know more words, apart from reading the dictionary, which I think is boring, I know many people just go and read the dictionary, but I'm not one of those people. So if you really want to expand your vocabulary, then get a challenging book. I found that this was easy to do way back in uni, because in university you have to read all this long text and there's nothing you can do about it because you need to complete your assignment. But even now in your personal life, you can actually just go to the bookshop, go to the library, find some books that are outside of your comfort zone or your level of reading. So maybe if you're into, I know adults who love their teen romance novels, but they're only at a certain level of vocabulary because they're geared for teenagers, right? So maybe go for mature wartime novel. So for you, you can find whether it's political novels, whether it's fiction or non-fiction, and just always give yourself time to read. You can set a timer for 20-30 minutes a day. What I do now is I mostly do my reading on Audible. So I listen to a book as I go for a walk, and you can do the same. You can listen to a book as you commute to work or as you go for a run. And the more that you do that, the more that you listen to books, then your vocabulary will start to expand. The third communication strategy that leaders use is being in the habit of communicating confidently even if they don't feel like it. What do I mean by this? So many times people are waiting for the time when they're confident in order for them to do things, but you can actually appear confident even if you're not feeling confident. You might be shaking inside, and then you just control your voice so that your voice is not shaking. And of course, sometimes maybe you can't control your voice and your voice is shaking all over the place. And I just want to say, if that's you, kudos to you. Keep going. Do not lose hope. So keep going and get yourself to a pace, to a level where you can control your voice so much that it's not shaking. And if your voice shakes when you speak, it's probably because you're too much in your head. You are forgetting that you were there to communicate a message to the person. You have disconnected from your message and from the person, and you're so much about, oh my goodness, how do I look? Oh my goodness, what am I going to say next? So you're too much in your head. So what you can do in order to stop that from happening is you can ground into yourself as a person before you are to speak. So maybe before work, have a morning routine where you spend some time meditating and just taking in some deep breaths, or before the meeting, go to the toilet and practice, like just see yourself being grounded and feeling confident, right? And another thing is your tone. So you know what, if you're speaking to people and your tone is very low and you're not even making eye contact with people, it's really going to make you feel afraid, and it sends across a message that you're not confident in what you're saying, and your body language is very evident from that as well. So make eye contact when you're speaking with people, and even as you make eye contact, pay attention to your tone. Do not speak too low and do not speak too high. I always say, don't assault people's ears with your voice. So you don't need to shout. And I know some confident people, they really shout. Maybe you can use a high tone if you're delivering a massive speech in front of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people, right? But if you're speaking in a meeting before like 10 people or 12 people, then there really is no need for you to shout. And sometimes I find that people who are overconfident and shouting, they use that to actually mask the fact that they don't know much about the topic. So again, don't go onto the other spectrum where you appear crazy because you're overdoing things, but instead keep your tone even, keep your tone confident, keep your tone regular. And if you're like me, I have a monotone voice, and I find that even if I try to work on it, my voice still sounds quite monotone. So that's why I'm not afraid of smiling as I speak, because it breaks down the monotony of my voice. Or I laugh sometimes if I'm saying something that is funny or not funny, because it breaks down the monotony. So if you're that person who has a monotonous voice, then you can have some inflections in between to break the monotony. Another thing that will help you as well appear confident is pausing in between. So rather than just speaking and regurgitating all these words, you can just stop, pause, breathe, center. And as you do that, it really helps you to appear confident. Pay attention to your body language as well. Avoid having a closed body posture. And I know that this arms across, it means different things to other people, but it's hard for people to really connect with your message and take in what you're saying if you're closed off, because when you're closed off, it's almost as if you're defending, you're trying to protect yourself from something, right? But when you're communicating, you really want to open yourself up, open your world up so that people are receptive to what it is you have to say. The fourth communication strategies leaders use is having an opinion and joining in important conversations. Like, listen, as a baseline rule, never let an important discussion pass you by without you contributing. Because here's what it says. First of all, it says that you don't know, maybe you just don't know about the topic. Second of all, it conveys the message that maybe you're not interested in what is being discussed, Third, it conveys that you haven't really done your homework in finding out more. And it conveys that you have no important contribution to make. And when you make yourself that kind of person who's usually in the shadows and not contributing, you spend way more years in the same position without advancing because you're not being proactive about putting yourself forward. So this strategy, it is so important. Here's what I mean. If you have regular meetings in your workplace workplace, whatever workplace setting you have, whether physical or via Zoom, find out the agenda of the meeting in advance, especially if you're not very confident about the subject matter. Find out the agenda. Just ask the admin or whoever is chairing the meeting, hey, do you mind sending me the agenda? I just want to know and prepare myself ahead of time. Once you find out the agenda, go and do your research. Go and do your homework about whatever your team is working on. What oomph can you bring? What new level of perspective, what new idea can you actually bring to the table? And I'm not just talking about taking up time, wasting people's time because you want to say a lot of things. Not at all. Part of communication is being clear and concise, right? And going straight to the point. And preparing ahead of time will help you to do this. And then when you are in the actual meeting, right, consider presenting your ideas in the form of a simple framework. You can say, you know what? I actually came up with, 3 ideas on how to do XYZ, so that people can really listen to you and it shows that you've really put some thought into it. Maybe don't let your points go beyond 3 because then people zone out and they're not listening anymore. Again, remember to be just concise and straight to the point. The more that you do this, the more that you build your reputation as a team player who brings sound ideas and sound contributions to the table. The last and probably most important communication strategy that leaders use is giving others an opportunity to speak. It is so important if you want to lead people, to know the opinions of your constituents. And I'm not saying your workplace is politics, not at all, but I'm saying in life, right? Whatever idea you have, whether you're a business owner, you're in a workplace, you need to rally people behind a particular idea. So if you're looking to advance in your job and to get promoted, that means you want people to rally behind your opinions and to see you as someone who has a worthy opinion to boot. And part of that is becoming a great listener. Amazing leaders are great listeners. In order for you to be a leader, you do not need to be the smartest person in the room. Not at all. But you need to be the person who really listens, especially to the smartest people in the room. Because sometimes smart people are not leaders, so they might be very intelligent, smart, good at what they do, but they don't have the leadership to inspire people to take action towards a common goal. So as a result, you might be the person who's leading people that are smarter than you. You're earning more, you're advancing faster than the smart person because you have mastered the art of listening. So whenever you are gathered together with your co-workers or with your team, be that person who is intently listening. Don't be so much in your head. Don't be so much about yourself, so much so that you're not seeing other people. Truly listen to others in such a way that they feel heard and they know that you're hearing them, in such a way that you're taking in all these amazing insights and ideas that they're saying to you. I actually have a habit that if I'm going into a meeting or if I'm catching up with a friend, I put my phone away or I turn it off unless if there's something important that is happening. But I really want to tune in to the person who's in front of me. I really want to truly listen. And I have found that as a result, my contribution is better and sharper because I've taken in all these different viewpoints. And you know what? I'm curious. Are you a good listener? So let me know in the comments below. When you're sitting down with other people, whether in a meeting, at work, at home, do you truly just relax and listen to other people? And you know what? You can do this by, looking at someone, like when they're speaking, make eye contact with them. Yeah, make eye contact with them. Don't look to the right or to the left. Make eye contact with them. When they say something that you agree with, just nod your head. And then maybe now and then you can say, oh, I hear you, but let them know that you're truly hearing them. Listening to other people is a powerful way of connecting with people, and it's such a powerful way of building your skills as a leader as well. There you have it. Those are the communication strategies that leaders use in order to become better communicators. And these are simple strategies that you too can start implementing today so that you can position yourself strategically for advancement in your career. My name is Lorrainedzeka. I've truly enjoyed just speaking with you on this episode, and I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments. What are you going to take action on? If you haven't done so already, remember to hit the subscribe button and also press the like button so that other amazing people just like you can also watch this video and improve their communication skills. I'll see you in the next episode.